Everyone, welcome to EduTap. Today I have with me a very special guest, Mr. Bhavesh. He is a recently selected RBI Grade B officer, and many congratulations to you, Mr. Bhavesh.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
We are really happy to have you. We would like to hear your strategy. How did you prepare, and some insightful tips for the aspirants who are still preparing.
Yes, sure, ma'am.
So, Bhavesh, would you please like to give us your brief introduction, like your educational background? What have you done earlier? You have told me that you are currently working and you cleared SSC
Yes,
CGL,
right.
right? So please give us your brief.
Yes, right. Okay, so I did my BCom honors from Bhopal in it got completed in 2017, and after that I gave SSC CGL 2017 itself, and due to some delays, the process took a bit long, and we finally joined in October 2020. So it's been almost a year, and I've joined as inspector at Central GST and Excise as inspector there. And I've been posted in Maharashtra near Nagpur currently. That's pretty much it.
That's very interesting to know your story. It's like currently also you're posted. I think it's a wonderful job you're doing. You have worked really
Yes,
hard
right.
and cracking the SSC CGL. It's again a coveted job, but now in RBI. So how are you feeling, Bhavesh?
It's definitely a good feeling, and as I mentioned to you earlier also that it was my second attempt. I gave a serious attempt in 2019 itself, so definitely I was working for this for a long time now. It's been almost 3 years since I've been preparing for this, so that's why when I got the success, it was very special for me.
Yes, of course it is. Like it's the hard work when it pays off. It's really like it's you feel grateful that yes, this is what I was doing, right? That's
Yes, right.
like wonderful. So see, we would like to know your strategy. How did you prepare? But before that, I want to know, see, because first attempt when you gave for RBI, you were preparing full time, but second attempt when you gave, you were a working candidate, right? So
Yes.
how did you manage the time between your work and your preparation?
Can be extreme. It can be a bit hard to prepare while you are working, even though people have there is a contrary to the public perception in a government about government departments. We had to put in a lot of hours of work, and sometimes we have to work beyond working hours and on weekends also. But still, if you do smart time management, and you can, even if you to 5 or 6 hours of your time for 6 of the subject matter, so it is possible to clear this exam.
Okay, so basically the idea is that you should be clear first of all that you want to do this exam, then you should be ready for the hard work, as you said.
Yes.
That you it takes a toll if you are working as well as preparing, right? Plus smart
Yes, right.
management along with your time management. So
Yes.
that is gonna be helpful. So guys, we'll try to take out points from Bhavesh for the aspirants who are full-time working and for the aspirants who are full-time preparing for this exam. Okay, so he might help you both in this. So
Yes.
Bhavesh, please tell us about like first of all, how did you come to know about RBI? Because see, it's not a very popular exam. On the
Right.
contrary, SSC CGL is a very like a popular exam. So many aspirants appear for it. Even UPSC, such exams are common, but we have seen that RBI is not considered to be a like everyone is not aware about it.
Yes, right. So actually, I got to know about this from my friend, and he actually knew someone who was a who got selected in RBI. So that's how he came to know about it, and he told me he is also he got also selected from a CGL 17 and a CAG. So he recommended it to me. We both started studying for it together, and eventually, although he could not make it this year, but I'm sure he would definitely make it the next year. So specifically, I would say that competition can be very high, even though lesser candidates as compared to SSC, CGL or other exams are here. But still, if you look at the quality of the candidates and the caliber of the aspirants here, so definitely it's a very high level of competition here.
Yes, absolutely. I think well said that was that although that exam is not taken by, let's say, lakhs of candidates as compared to other, but yes, you were right that candidates have wide experience, they have wide knowledge, and they are smart. So you cannot take competition lightly here. Right.
Right.
This is actually, we have also seen in the regulatory bodies, especially like SEBI, be it RBI, for that matter, NABARD also. Right. So starting about your journey for the preparation of phase 1, the very first exam in the recruitment process. So this year, compared to your last attempt, the pattern changed. The
Yes.
Not only descriptive was added, but the paper of phase 1 was also not on the expected lines.
Yes, right.
So how did you cope up with that? Were you like ready? Did you anticipate कि ऐसा कुछ हो सकता है, या फिर वैसे ही चल रहा था preparation as like earlier करते थे?
नहीं, एक्चुअली एंटिसिपेट तो नहीं किया था कि पेपर का लेवल में इतना बड़ा डिफरेंस आ जाएगा, एंड स्पेसिफिकली इवन इन द करंट अफेयर्स और जीके पोर्शन, इवन दैट वाज वेरी हार्ड दिस टाइम. सो बिल्कुल एंटिसिपेट नहीं किया था, बट सिंस लास्ट ईयर आई गॉट आउट इन द प्री इटसेल्फ, सो I took it upon me that I am not going to take this phase in a light manner, and I'm going to give my 100% for this, because I knew that even in the in 2019 my preparation for phase 2 was good, but because I couldn't even clear the first stage, I failed, and that was very I felt very bad that time. So I changed my strategy a bit. The last time I was a bit defensive in my approach. I attempted only those questions where I was extremely sure. This time I even took some chances. I started to eliminate options, even took attempts where I was if I can eliminate 2 options and I'm left with 3 options, even then I attempted. So in phase 1 this time I took a bit aggressive approach. So that ultimately paid well for me. Even I got a good score. I got I think 93. So that was
That's
very
a really
high.
good score, way
yes.
above cutoff you've got.
Yes, definitely. So this time when I gave phase 1, I was sure that okay, I can make it this time. I was quite sure about that.
Nice, because see, the level of paper was high, but it is about you also, that after attempting, you know that it was difficult for everyone, but what have I done?
Right.
And somewhere, as you said, that you changed the approach. That is also a wonderful point, that you cannot always stick to one approach. Let's say if you're not able to clear because of one strategy, be open to change. That is a key point, I think, for the viewers of this video, right? So will you share with us your preparation sources and strategy for GA? The most, I would say, the highest weightage in phase 1, this section
Can you
holds.
please repeat this again?
I said, can you please share with us the sources as well as strategy of general awareness?
Yes, for general awareness, I referred EduTab's content as well as Affairs Cloud's content. And I would, for all the future aspirants, I would say that use 2 sources here in current affairs. And you can use any sources, but because there is no surety that you can get you get questions from all the sources, this time the questions were very out of blue. We even after referring to 2 sources, I did not read many of those questions. I had not even I never had a glance over those topics or those news. So that was definitely surprising, and I think this was the same for everyone. So to be on a safer side, use any 2 sources. You can get many good sources online. And other than that, about strategy, so you even if you perform, if we take quant, reasoning and English, so what you need to do is attempt as many mocks as possible. because that has been my strategy about these. I tried to attempt as many mocks as possible, and also my attempt was to be in top 1% of that particular mock. So if I can be in top 1% candidates of overall all the candidates that have taken the exam, then definitely I'm sure that I am on the right path. So that was my only target whenever I gave mocks. And 15 days before my exam, that means 15 days before pre, I stopped preparing completely for phase 2, and I started giving my whole time to phase 1 only, as I had understood the importance of this phase also due to my last year's experience. So and that's the key, I think. If you are good at quant and reasoning and English, then you just need to do some practice. If you are not, then you need to put in some extra hours from maybe 3 or 4 months before the exam. And the basic thing is attempt as many mocks as possible, use 2 sources for current affairs, and try, because they can also be helpful for your phase 2 preparation. So definitely that's the thing that I stick to.
So like, I'll just summarize 3-4 points that I could take from your whatever strategy you have shared. That first of all, you should know your weakness and your strengths. What are your subjects? Like if you're good in quant reasoning, then you should know that, okay, this is my strong subject. I should focus more on GA, let's say, right? And English. If you feel that no, I'm not good in content reasoning, then you need to put extra effort. So identify that. Secondly, for GA, you said that 2 sources you should follow, right? They can be any 2 sources. It's not necessary that there are 2 sources, these only you should refer. You just identify your sources and then stick to those 2 and cover them holistically, right? And third, you said that importance of mock tests you should do, and 15 days before your phase 1, you dedicatedly prepared only for phase 1.
Yes, right.
So these are, guys, these are golden points. Those of you who are watching this video, the points shared by Bhavesh are very important, because see, he has gone through one attempt where he did not clear, so he changed his strategy, and see, in second attempt he is sitting with us sharing his strategy. So that is the change you need to bring, right? Lovely points. These are very important, Bhavesh. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much.
So one point, as you mentioned, that you used to have this feeling that you should be in the top 1% of the mock test, right? So what happens that you might be not in every mock test, you might not be able to do that. So what I have seen is that candidates are demotivated, quite demotivated, that I could not score well. Probably they start doubting their strategy or preparation. So what would you suggest for that?
Yes, so basically one good thing about the mocks that we see is we get even percentile of subject-wise percentiles also. That okay, in reasoning you performed this much, or you got 90 percentile, or in, so you can specifically see that which area is your strong point and which area is your where you are weaker. So if you analyze that, because analysis of mocks is very important. So my attempt was always that, okay, I knew that my English and quantitative aptitude, in that I got higher marks than others, I got higher percentile. So I knew that even if you score average in two areas and you can score higher marks in one area, your overall percentile would be very high. So that was my attempt, to be at least to be at least average in all areas and above average in in any 1 or 2 subject. And if you have any weakness, so you analyze that and prepare more for that.
Okay, so again, like mock tests are going to help you for your analysis. Not only like competitive, obviously you have to know this is a competitive examination, you have to have a target, but analyze, use it for your analysis, right? So any specific sources, Bhavesh, for like quant and reasoning? As you said that mock tests are one thing, but for a beginner, let's say they don't know which book to refer or where to start from.
Actually, for SSC CGL, I had prepared these topics, so that's why I did not have to refer to any other sources here. I just started giving mocks, and that was it for me. So I think I'm not the right person to prescribe any sources here in
Right,
this
but
area.
for the aspirants who have prepared or are preparing for SSC, then Bhavesh is the right person that you use your preparation there, okay, and focus on GA. Right. I think same would be for English also then, because you must have prepared
Yes,
English
yes,
also.
right. Yes, right.
Nice. So idea is that whatever strengths you have, try to utilize those. What are your weaknesses? Try to improve them. Okay.
Yes, right.
So let's move on to then phase 2. So how is the
Yes.
pattern this time? You had to like write answers also. So what was your like first reaction when you got to know about the change in pattern?
एक्चुअली जब ये चेंज हुआ था, सो everybody got a bit tensed कि how is this going to affect our performance, and we only got very few days. We did not have any time to prepare specifically for the descriptive part, and there was a lot of discussion that how it's going to be tough for us. But I was pretty clear from start that descriptive is something, see, we have started taking objective exams in these competitive examinations that we take, but descriptive part that we have attempted from our childhood itself. We have given our school exams and college exams, and that is the only format we used to answer there. That was the major area. So that's why I was not much worried about that. Besides, typing was also issue for some candidates. So luckily my typing speed was good due to, as I prepared for it for SSC CGL also, there is a typing test there. So since this time candidates are going to have time, so my advice would be to have at least a decent typing speed, and also to practice before the exams to some extent, even if you allot half an hour every day to put some timer on and practice the answer writing, so that can be really helpful, so that you are in habit of recalling the answers in the examination hall or in the time pressure that you feel that time. Because I remember that I could not complete a few answers, the last answer that I was giving in both the papers. So you need to have a practice of completing your paper in time, and also that you can summon all the important points, you can cover all the important points there in that limited time.
Right. So again, see, as you said, that typing practice, all these things are important. Why? Because let's say you have done your preparation really well, you have all the knowledge, but what if you're not able to write only in stipulated time? So it's very, very important that guys, as Bhavesh said, that still there is time, right? So from now only you can start your preparation as well as the typing practice. Okay.
Yes,
So
and also I want to add one thing here. The word limit that RBI gave, that was a bit on higher side. I think they said 600 words for the bigger answers, and 400 for the smaller answer. So I would advise everyone not to get intimidated by that number, because I barely know anyone who touched that word limit. It was the maximum word limit, so it is okay if your content is good and you have written the answer in for that 600 words question. If you have written the answer in 400 words, but still your content is good, so there is no issue in that. Just try to try that all the important points that you want to mention get mentioned in your answer.
This was going to be my next question, which you mentioned yourself, because yes, 600 words for 15 marks, 400 words for 10 marks. So all in all, you had to write like 2000 words according to the word limit. So it's very difficult, right? And you were right. Even we have not seen any candidate till now, at least, who actually fulfilled the word limit. So rather than word limit, how many words did you write? Do you like have any
I
rough
think
idea?
yes, roughly I was able to write 500 words in the 600 word question, and in the 400 word, I think 300 words.
Right. So the content.
And that was
Hmm.
after my typing speed was decent.
Yes,
And
yes.
because you face a difficulty in remembering all the points that you want to
Hmm.
add there, so that also, and then type it.
Last sentence, please. You'll have to repeat your voice.
Yes,
Got
yes.
thoda sa distorted.
Yes, so because in examination hall it can get quite difficult to frame your answer and then type it. Framing the answer also takes a lot of time, and that's why I recommended that everyone should try practicing with a timer on, so that
Hmm.
they can recall all the points they want to mention there.
Plus, you feel that pressure also, the time pressure, the clock is ticking,
Yes,
so you
right.
have to write, because that is what is there in the examination. People are
Yes,
sitting and
right.
typing, and you just get intimidated that you hear the keyboard sound,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And Bhavish, the word limit that you adhered, no, it is, I would say, till now I have spoken with the candidates, this is the highest. No one has written 500 out of 600. I was hearing people like selected candidates, officers, they have written 350, 300, even 400. So 500 is the highest. So again, that the thing is practice. He had the practice, guys. You have to understand. He utilized it. So you can start from now itself. Start practicing with the timer on, as Bhavesh said. And initially you can, I think they can start with anything they like to improve their English, but then later on
Yes,
they
right.
can switch to the questions.
Yes, right.
Hmm. Okay. So talking about the sources again of your like ESI and then FM.
Yes, for the static part, I recommended I used EduTab's course and also another course. So static portion was covered from that, and I had already revised it. I had to just revise it because I read all those sources in 2019 itself. And other than that, for current affairs portion, I used uh, both these courses, current affairs PDF, and even some other sources also. But for the candidates for the next time, I would highly recommend reading newspaper on a daily basis. Even if you do it, you do not need to do it in detail. Even if you can give half an hour to this, or even 15-20 minutes, that would be fine. You just need to read the headlines, important news, and if you find some news that is very important, so you can just read the details, because it can be helpful in descriptive portion also, and also helps in interview part also, in
Hmm.
part. So newspaper reading has become very important with the change in examination pattern, and the weightage, higher weightage given into interviews this year also. So that would be a source I would recommend. And other than that, if we divide the phase 2 syllabus, so other than static portion and current affairs, we have one more important area is the reports.
That's right.
So
Reports.
for reports, one thing that the compilations, current affair compilations that all the courses have, you need to understand that before notification, you need to read only the most important reports before the notification has been released. So you read only like SDG index or human development index or some Niti Aayog most important reports or doing business report. So you need to analyze that which ones are more important, and after notification has been released, you need to study even the non-important, lesser important reports also, because they can come in pre also, and even in mains also they can come as a 1 marker question, or any even the 2 marker questions also.
Hmm.
Other than that, if we talk about government schemes, so return on investment is very low in that area, because there are countless numbers of schemes. So for that, I would recommend that pre 2014 stick to only the most important only the most important schemes, and post 2014 do some 50-60 important schemes. That much you have to do, and try to attempt as many MCQs as that are possible, because they help in retention. And other than that, you can also refer the current affairs capsules, or whatever source you use for notifications or any other banking or finance related news. So they are the major areas that come in the phase 2, and the preparation strategy that I followed for them.
Right. Again, this was insightful. You have actually broken the components of current affairs, I would say reports, schemes, and your events. But I have few questions because
Yes.
this, based on the queries that we get as a student who finds out, let's say reports, as you said. So you said that importance reports only important before the notification, and after the notification all the reports are to be covered. So as, let's say, a new student who is not much aware about the pattern, who has not been into this syllabus and all very much, so can we like draw the boundary that reports which are related to your syllabus, the names you took, HDI, Sustainable Development, SDG Index, Niti Aayog. So these reports which are related to the syllabus topics mentioned, like let's say employment generation, health, education, if they are related to your syllabus, they are important. If they are not directly related, then they are less important. Can we say that?
Yes, definitely, to some extent. Like if there is a important report about agriculture, but since agriculture is not that, we can skip that before notification if any report of that kind has been released. And also for this, it is very important for every candidate that we in the coaching institutions and the selected candidates are here for to guide, but you need to analyze the question papers of past years for yourself, because when you read those question papers and you start analyzing, so you start finding the areas, the major areas from which questions are being asked, or what kind of questions are being asked, or what kinds of reports are very important. Because when I started preparing in 2019, I saw the past year question papers of 2-3 years maybe, and from that I got a rough idea that okay, these are the areas, or these are the kinds of reports that are majorly asked. So every candidate must analyze the question paper of last year's themselves. That is very important.
Very right, important. So guys, note this down, that if you are starting your preparation at this point of time, very first thing should be that you see the previous year papers, as Bhavesh said, guys, because I think you would also agree, Bhavesh, that through that you get to know the requirement of the examination. That let's say I have to cover, a report is released by Niti Aayog, but what from that report is asked or is relevant, that you can get only through previous year papers.
Yes, right.
So if you, let's say, you read the complete 300-page report, it is of no use if you're not able to answer that one question that they are looking for.
Yes,
So
right.
that's the thing about reports, that you can somewhere mark the important reports with your syllabus, right?
Yes,
And after your
yes, and this also applies to other current affairs also. Even if you look like the current affairs capsule or PDF of EduTap, for each month it is almost 150 or 200 pages. So you need to be smart about it. There is no point cramming the whole PDF. You need to be selective that which news are more important. So I will read only those news in detail. Other news you can go through a cursory reading. This level of understanding about the exam you get only after you have thoroughly analyzed the exam or the previous year question papers.
Absolutely, absolutely right. And for schemes also, you mentioned that prior to 2014, that is old schemes, we generally say, you refer just selectively the schemes probably which have been in news, we can say recently there was some
Yes, right.
update or some change has been made, or what we can say is they were somewhere mentioned in the sessions going on, like कहीं ना कहीं पे कुछ हुआ था, तो वो ज्यादा
Yes.
relevant हो जाएगा. After
Yes, right.
2014, the important schemes which Bhavesh is saying is 50-60 जो schemes है, again mark them to your syllabus.
Yes.
The topics mentioned, koi scheme is, let's say, employment generation, so any scheme related to employment generation would be important, right? Be it koi MSME ka ho gaya, KVIC ne kuch bhi
Yes,
kiya hai,
and poverty alleviation is also very important.
right? So very important these things are. ठीक है. So this was about, I think, current affairs, and you said that static you had covered already. So for FM as well as ESI.
Yes, both had covered already, and also I had given the MCQ, attempted the MCQs for that. I had to just revise that portion, and also in ESI, current affairs portion is a bit higher. In FM, it's mostly about static content, but in ESI, current affairs also gets at least half weightage. So that's why the ESI portion was the static of that was not that hard to cover or even lengthy.
So was this is about objective, right? Objective paper, that current affairs portion, MCQs you solved, as you said. You had covered your static, and revision is anyhow has to be there, right? Now
Yes.
coming to descriptive,
Yes.
the writing practice, right? All those things you have told, but how to manage the preparation of both objective and descriptive together? And do you,
Uh,
whatever you are reading for objective, will it be helpful for your descriptive also?
Yes, definitely. There is nothing different that you have to do for the subjective. Whatever you are reading for the objective exam, you have to refer to the same content. You just need to have, as I said, have some practice and try to remember some major points about everything that you read. This is somewhere, if your memory is good, that can be helpful in the examination. But even if not that, you can try through multiple revisions or any other method. Because what I have realized is you do not need to be Shashi Tharoor to excel in a descriptive portion. You need to just follow the basics. You need to uh, uh, tell the examiner or to show the examiner that okay, this person knows the basic details of what I want to see. So if you can convey that to the examiner, then definitely you will get good marks. For that, I tried to write in points, make short paras, and if possible, substantiate that with examples. So that was very helpful for me. And although marks have not been released, but I guess that has played some part in my success this time.
Of course, it would have, like, important points that you have shared, because these are the points which are actually recommended also, that you have already used. So these are the general recommended points. So I think, but what is the problem is, Bhavesh, that students will hear the points that okay, these are the recommendations, stick to the basics, try to not make long paragraphs, right? But when they start writing, they like just go with their feelings कि ठीक है जैसे आ रहा है लिखते जाओ, right? Long paragraphs, they'll start using that flowery, difficult, actually difficult words. It might be difficult for examiner also to comprehend that word, as you said. So rather make them that yes, I know this, in a decent language I am able to represent that also.
Yes,
So
because in descriptive, what is more important is to frame that answer. See, before you start writing that answer, if you have that the whole structure of the what you want to write, then you already are ahead of others. So if you have that practice in mind, or if you excel in that, so definitely it is not going to be much hard for you to write there.
Okay. So as you like talking about the practice and mock test here again in phase 2, you said that like before 10-15 days of phase 1, you were dedicatedly preparing for phase 1, taking mocks and everything. So for phase 2 also, did you do something like that, that taking mocks and everyday writing answers, or did you fix any day for the same?
Yes, for descriptive, I could not allot much time this because we got to know about this very late. So I did not prepare much for that. I just wrote maybe 2-3 days. I tried to practice it, but then due to time constraints, I started to prepare to revise my content again. And about mocks, so yes, I tried to give as many mocks as possible, though I could not attempt many mocks because the time period is very limited between pre and mains. So that can be a bit issue, but if it is possible for anyone, mocks are always going to help, because you can also cover variety of questions there. So definitely, if you have been good with your revision, you have some days left, so you can try to give as many mocks as possible. They are always going to be helpful.
Right. And would you also like to shed some light on English descriptive?
Yes, because English descriptive, it depends a lot on your comprehension skills, or how you on or your writing skills, that how that has been throughout your academic career. So that has a big part to play. But even if your writing skills are not that up to mark, for candidates, aspirants of next year, there is still time. You can try to work on that. And as I said, that what you need here is consistency. Uh, you need to make a strategy. You need to make a nice plan, allot time to every different aspect, and you need to stick to that plan to the end, because that would help you. If you are continuously preparing for, even if you write, it doesn't matter that you I'm not saying that you do it for 4 to 5 hours. You can, even if you give it 15 to 20 minutes every day for 6 months, or even 3 4 months to English, like you make it a point that, okay, I'm going to write an essay every day. So that can be really helpful. So that is a good way to improve your skills if your skills are not that up to the mark. And if your skills are already good, then that's very good for you.
So basically, the idea is that consistency plays a very important role, right? See, this is what happens in the competitive examinations. A very important thing. Those who are consistent, those who are working hard plus working smart. As you mentioned, that planning, you should plan that, okay, only this much time I'll devote. So all these points, guys, if you implement them, I would say that then success is not very far, because see, everything we cannot tell. You will have your own journey, you'll have your own strategy, but still these can be the guiding light for you, all these points. So I think we have pretty much talked about your phase 2 preparation also, right?
Yes.
Start with basically static part, cover your syllabus well, and then current
Yes.
affairs you have to do till your examination, till rather you said till interview they help, current affairs, है ना?
Yes.
ठीक है. तो इसमें अच्छा हाँ, आरबीआई नोटिफिकेशंस का प्लीज टेल अस वंस अबाउट लाइक द रेलेवेंस ऑफ द नोटिफिकेशंस और द वेबसाइट ऑफ आरबीआई, कैसे पढ़ना चाहिए?
यस, सो जैसे मैंने मेंशन किया, न्यूज़पेपर्स स्पेसिफिकली अगर आप ये देखेंगे, इफ यू रेगुलरली रीड न्यूज़पेपर्स, सो इन दैट द इम्पोर्टेंट नोटिफिकेशंस ऑफ आरबीआई आर ऑलरेडी कवर्ड. And also they are covered in the current affairs PDFs provided by different institutions. So you do not need to read every notification given by RBI. Also, the language can be a bit tough to understand there, and there are so many pages to read there. Also, the references of different past notifications, so it can be a bit tough for you to read there. So refer any other sources, at least for pre and mains. For interview, you can go and read the notifications if you feel that way, or you want to be thorough with your preparation. But for phase 2 and phase 1, refer to newspaper or any other current affairs sources. There it is covered, so you can read those there.
Because see, valid point this you have said, because for phase 2 you have a lot other things also to be covered, right? So many current affairs are anyhow taking place. So if any notification of RBI, let's say, is having impact on larger public, or it's very like impacting the banking system, it will be anyhow covered in the current affairs magazine. But while you are going through interview, that time you can go to the website directly. As you said that when you open the first, you have to find out the monthly notification tab, then you will find pages hai, फिर उसमें links है, reference, पीछे जाके you will have to go 3 months or even 1 year back. So save your time and cover the notifications from the current affairs. ठीक है?
Yes,
Insightful.
right.
This was very insightful. So now I am very, very eager to know about your interview, Bhavish. Because already working at such a good position, and then you are appearing for like RBI interview. तो कैसा था? How was your interview? This is what I want to know पहले तो.
Interview was good. this time there was a lot of arbitrariness because there were 3 panels, and the reviews about the transcripts of all the panels were completely different from each other. So that was definitely a issue. So हमें कोई idea नहीं था कि interview कैसा होगा, whether it will be tough, easy, will they go too technical in these banking or finance areas. So the key was to be confident about that and be ready for any circumstance that you might face, because at the although my interview marks are not out, but at the end I feel now in the hindsight that it is more about being professional there, being confident there. Your academic record and work profile definitely matters, whether even if you are not working, then your academic profile that works. And also psychometric test, although not specifically stated, or we did not get any hint, but I think that played a part in our in the final marks that were allotted. That might have played a role in that. So you need to be honest in that psychometric test also. And in the interview also, as I said, try to because this is something you will realize when you start preparing for interview. When you will read the transcripts of the previous years, you will see that okay, हमने जो phase 2 के लिए पढ़ा है, that was completely different from that is completely different, and जो interview में पूछा जा रहा है, that is
That's right.
That's something very different. So when I read the transcripts, I did not read it before interview, when sorry, before phase 2. So after phase 2, I read the transcripts of previous years, and I was a bit shocked कि यार ये तो कभी पढ़ा ही नहीं है. So I started reading the areas that okay, this was something new. So I started reading that, maybe refer YouTube videos or any other content. Started reading newspaper daily, and so basically it is more about being ready for. You can also prepare questions yourself. One thing that I want to specifically emphasize is you need to be very clear about why I want to join RBI. If you are switching jobs, then why do you want to switch jobs? You also need to be very you need to ensure that you do not criticize your current job or even any previous jobs, because it would I don't think that would be a very acceptable answer there.
Yes, of course, because they are, as you said, that phase 2 is done. Now you are being judged on your personality. If you are sitting and just criticizing your previous job, then probably they get to know that okay, then you are going to criticize us also.
Yes, right. Yes,
Yeah.
so that is something that should be absolutely avoided. And other than that, the confidence that you have, and your work profile, academic profile, your whole personality there, and how you answer the questions, how it is more about being professional. It is okay if you cannot answer even 1 or 2 or 3 questions. That there is no need to analyze your interview while you are sitting in the interview. Many times we do that. Okay, like if chairman has asked or any other panel member has asked me a question, and I failed to answer that, so I start analyzing mid interview that okay, I have not answered this question, so how is this going to impact my interview? So that deteriorates your performance further. So definitely never analyze your interview while during in mid interview. And other than that, be ready that you might not be able to answer some questions, and that is absolutely fine. I have read a few transcripts where when I read those transcripts before the final results, I was sure that okay, this candidate is not going to get selected. He has been he was not able to convince, or she was not able to convince the chairman or any other member. But finally I saw their name in the selection list. So that was something even I could not imagine. So it is a big lesson for everyone that you just need to go with the flow, never lose your confidence in between, and stay professional to the end. And That would be it. That would
Like
be best
overall
for.
preparation, rather it's not only about the knowledge that you could answer the question or not, rather how did you carry yourself, or as you said starting from your background, your educational background, your work experience, because this is what grooms your personality, and that is what you have to be there. Psychometric test also, as you mentioned, it's um, you rightly said that not directly it impacts, but still you are being gauged that okay, do you fit there, or what you are showing in your interview, are you the personality same? So what I could
Yes.
get is that from your points that you have said, that you should do the brushing up of your own biodata. Okay, everything
Yes.
it should be like you should know the reasons for, as you said, clarity should be there for joining the
Yes. Right.
organization, switching jobs, everything that you mentioned. Second is knowing about the organization itself, है ना, RBI के बारे में या notifications as you mentioned earlier. And
Yes.
third
Yes.
is
Right.
be ready for still not being able to answer few questions.
Yes.
I mean
Right.
उसको अच्छे से maintain करने को. Right.
Yes. Right.
So very very insightful interview this was, Bhavesh. Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much
much.
for taking out time. You actually like guys, I want to tell you, Bhavesh is working nowadays also, and like he has chosen still taking out time from his work busy schedule to give preparation strategy to you guys. Thank you so much, Bhavesh.
No, no, that's not an issue, ma'am. Thank you so much.
We wish you all the best for your career ahead. We hope you are going to
Thank,
fly high in the organization that you're going to join.
yes,
So,
thank you so much.
all the best and thanks again.
Yes, thank